This is a clip from the Cannon podcast. To hear the full episode and get access to exclusive benefits, head over to patreon.com/thecannonpod and sign up for just £3 a month.
Let's talk Aaron Ramsdale, who's been, I think, named the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, according to CIS Football Observatory. There's a little debate going around Twitter between the two favourite fan bases of Arsenal and Manchester United, who seem like they could be signing Andre Onana, a former Arsenal target, who alongside Ramsdale could have been our goalkeeper. We got Ramsdale. They might get Onana now. Quick little debate here. Who is the better goalkeeper in 2023? Is it Andre Onana? Is it Aaron Ramsdale? Who wants to answer this? Go on, who wants it? Who wants it? Who wants it? Is it George?
Go.
Oh, go on, Alex.
Onana. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay. George, you got a different answer?
I do. I think it's Aaron.
A heated debate is coming. Go on.
Oh, we can title this. Here we go. do you want the thumbnail?
Yeah. The boxing fight.
Yeah.
Go on, George.
Yeah, go on, George.
Look, between the two, Onana is the more elite distributor, for sure. He's got a much better technical quality, and he's got a much better slip ball between the lines. He's just got a far better half turn. Andre Onana is clear. You're not going to debate with the distribution. What I am going to debate is the shot stopping, the ability to claim crosses, and what I am going to debate is the 1v1 sweeping of Onana versus Aaron Ramsdale, who has taken huge strides this season in that regard, as mentioned by John Harrison, our resident goalkeeping kind of tactico on Twitter. I think that as a package, the difference in distribution between a Ramsdale and an Onana, it is different, but Aaron Ramsdale's no slouch with distribution. I think beyond Ederson, you're only looking at potentially Ramsdale in the league that is better. So when you look at it, Onana is clear, but I would say the difference between their distributions isn't as big as the difference in their shot stopping, claiming crosses, and the general goalkeeping package, which I still think Andre Onana has trouble with in terms of his recovery 1v1 and sweeping. He still doesn't make great decisions when he is 1v1 against attackers. And I think, look, it's coachable. I don't think that this then means that Andre Onana is a horrible player. It just means that I think as a package, the benefits that Aaron Ramsdale has, both in contact, by the way, claiming crosses from set pieces. Andre Onana is quite poor at this. He is susceptible to that. He is susceptible in 1v1s, and he is susceptible to kind of overcomplicating things. Aaron has done a brilliant job about, under the coach of a proper manager, again, I will say, really evolved that area of his game. So I just think as a general goalkeeping package, while Onana will exceed distribution, I don't think he exceeds in under fundamental parts of the game. So for me, that's why I've put Aaron Ramsdale ahead.
Alex, do you want to argue against it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think, well, maybe this is slightly coloured by my concern, because one of my biggest concerns about Ten Hag, my two red flags, were his talent ID, which I think he's got this bang on, and that's not fully proved, by the way. I'm not fully there with that, and the De Gea situation, because the De Gea situation is actually two things. It's one, making a ruthless decision, and also it's the talent ID, and ultimately, this guy is essentially a club legend, around from the Sir Alex Ferguson days. This is a guy who people, who won the Golden Glove last season. And as a United fan, I'm sure there are hundreds of conversations in pubs around the UK, mostly in Manchester, going, yeah, but how can you get rid of him? He's won the Golden Glove. You can't, it's indisputable. But it's making an important decision to improve your game model. And that's an important thing. I think I would agree with George that Onana and Ramsdale are different stylistically. I would agree that Ramsdale, let's call it the more traditional goalkeeping attributes, probably edges him. I wouldn't go as far as George and say, I don't know how far George has gone. I don't think the gap is that big, but I would agree that Ramsdale is the superior on the more shot stopping, handling, claiming crosses, etc. But I think the thing that Onana allows you to do, and again, this is just eyes, isn't it? It's like what you like in football. What Onana allows you to do, there's no one else in world football. I genuinely think Onana is the best on-the-ball keeper in world football. I would say better than Ederson. Not overall, but in terms of just that quality, he's got pauser. He's a goalkeeper and he's got pauser. It's a joke. He can break 3 lines. He is honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It's like a midfielder playing in goal. And people say that about Ederson, but I think he's at the next level. your ability to attract attackers, your ability to break lines, your ability to change pressing structures, your ability to basically say, well, we can commit, another man forward or commit someone in this line because we know we basically have this guy. That impact, it depends how much you believe that impact matters. But to me, in terms of the way I see football, that impact is more important, especially for a team who want to have the most amount of possession than anyone. By the way, do I think Ramsdale would be better for United? Yes. Because I don't think they're ready to play out in the way that Onana allows you to do. But if you dropped Onana into this team, into Arsenal's team, would he overall, in my opinion, take our game to a slightly higher level than Ramsdale? Yes. Drop off in certain areas. In my opinion, yes. But I think it comes down to style, whether you like one thing or the other. But I can't get out of my head that comp of him playing in the Champions League final. And that's another thing. That level of playing at that level of football and doing what he did. Just go watch that. There's no one in world football as a goalkeeper who can do that, in my opinion.
Have you seen a video of him basically playing in midfield the whole time? In games where he's a goalkeeper and he's driving with the ball forwards. It's a unique profile and it will be a good signing for United.
Do you think, I'll put it this way, to you, Bhavs, maybe. Do you believe that he gets the same time on the ball in the English Premier League? Because one of the biggest things that I'd like to look at, he makes some questionable decisions in space, and he is susceptible. And part of his game, by the way, you don't tell him to stop it, because he's like William Saliba, he's dribbling. He's somebody that will push the boundaries. But is the counter press of the English Premier League different to what he's faced in Ajax, even in Europe? When we look at those best performances, I'm noticing it's in huge space. I'm wondering, under a Gabby Jesus press, are you going to have Meslier moments?
He'll struggle at United, by the way.
Yeah, there will be those moments. And I think what you said there as well is, if you watch his games, all you see in his highlights is his great moments. Okay, he's amazing on the ball here. He's made mistakes, and in the Premier League, they will be seen more because more fans will see that, and then obviously we'll make sure people see that as Arsenal fans. Right? Chelsea fans will make sure see it. That's how it is in football, Mistakes will get highlighted more often because you're in a bigger league now. And I think what people see in Onana now is his perfect goalkeeper, and he's just amazing playing out the back. But they'll see, was it that game against Liverpool at Anfield? He's amazing playing out the back, and he comes for a cross and just stops, and that's pauser, but he's actually paused there. He just completely just paused, and the ball's just gone past him. So I think he's a very good goalkeeper, but I think fans often they won't see the mistakes in him until they see it in person and go, actually, this guy makes some absolute clangers, and they'll be really annoying clangers where you're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Was there a need for that? But he pushes the boundaries, and we'll see how it works for United. But
elite signing though is probably it's probably Erik ten Hag's best signing that he's made.
Okay.
Thanks for checking out the Cannon Podcast. To get full episodes and access to exclusive benefits, head over to patreon.com/thecannonpod and sign up for just £3 a month.